All right, and welcome back. We are looking at chapter 13, and chapter 13 is going to look at annuities and sinking funds. So let's get right to it. We are looking at annuities today. We're going to look at ordinary and annuity due in this lecture. So first of all, what is an annuity? So let's take a look at what an annuity is. And an annuity is a stream of payments. All right, and we're going to abbreviate payments like that. Okay? So think of it this way. Here you are, right? And the stream of payments could be money that you earn or money that you're paying, right? So an annuity could be a retirement fund, it could be insurance payments, it could be a mortgage payment, it could be money that you put into a savings account, right? So it's a stream of payments, and they usually earn some or gain, right? Some type of, that's gain. I know it looks like grain, but some interest, right? Some type of, or some percent of interest. So imagine here you are, and you're throwing money into an account, right? And that account is over here, and you're doing this for 30 years, and you're paying annually, and you're earning, let's say, 7% interest, all right, in this account. Who knows what it is? You're either making payments into it or making payments to them, or it's for you, or who knows. Let's say it's retirement, right? Let's say it's in a retirement account. And then some time goes by, we'll say 30 years, right? And then here you are over here, right? Less hair, right? You're old, I guess, right? And you want to know how much did that work? And hopefully, right, those 3 payments you made or whatever, or those 30 payments that you made will end up being a future value of this annuity here. Okay, so you put some money in, you do it for 30 years, it earns interest, and at the end of it, you're hoping, right, that those payments and that interest end up being a certain amount of money. And what will it be? That's the big question. It's probably what you're going to be asking your advisor, or if you don't have an advisor, right? Well, a lot of people don't because it's expensive, and you'd rather be making those payments to yourself instead of a financial advisor. What is that annuity going to look like at the end of the term? What's the future value of that annuity? Right? I say I'm going to be able to put in eventually, $400,000. But what would the future value of that be with that percent, with those payments, with that time period, with that interest earned? Okay, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to figure out how do we figure out the future value of an annuity. And we're going to look at 2 types of annuities. We're going to look at ordinary, and we're going to look at annuity due. All right. The key term at the end of the term, right? These are payments made at the end of a period. At the end of a period, right? And these are payments made at the beginning of period, right? And those are my abbreviations. So, let's look at ordinary first, right? by the way, this one is going to make you end up paying more or earning more, and this one less. Okay? So at the end of a time, because you're making the payment at the beginning of the period, you're going to earn more interest in an annuity due. So if I, for example, gave you an example of, hey, I want you to put away $3,000 every period, earning 8% interest. The annuity due is going to earn more money, right? If I said at the beginning of payment, you're going to earn 8%, you're going to make more at an annuity due. Why? Well, because you're earning interest right away. That should make sense. In an ordinary, let's say 3 years, well, in an ordinary, you're not earning any interest for the first year. You're earning it at the end. So, and that's how most tables work. So the table is assuming that you're putting it in at the end of the period. So the tables that we look at are always going to assume that it's end of period or ordinary. When we do an annuity due, you're going to have to alter the table a little bit and add an extra year or period, because you have to do that because it's not adding in that first year payment. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but be very aware of that's what is occurring, right? In an ordinary annuity, you're earning your interest at the end of the period. You're not going to earn it for the first period because there wasn't any money in it, right? Nobody's going to pay you interest on money that you just put in on, December 31st. All right, they're not going to give you 8% interest all year on that money, right? So imagine you put it in at January 1st. Right? So you're going to earn money that first year, right? So January 1st of 2020 instead of December 31st of 2020, right? There's going to be there's going to be 12 months or 1 year or 4 quarters or 2 periods if it's semi-annually that won't earn interest for you, okay? So let's look at how we figure out an ordinary annuity using this table, right? We're going to use this table right here. Okay, and so for our ordinary, I'm going to just use the example that we just said. Let's imagine that we are going to use, we have $3,000, okay, and the number of periods, so the number of periods is going to be 3, if we're doing it annually, right, and we're earning 8%. This should be 8%. Okay? So we're doing it for 3 years. Okay? Well, 3 years times 1 because we do it every year. So there's 3 periods. And then our rate is going to be 8% divided by, 1, because we're doing it once a year, equals 8%. So 3 periods at 8%. 3,000 times, right? Now we have to go to our table. So we're going to go to our table. I'm going to skip all the math because we just use our table. And our table says, hey, that's the number we want to use, 3.2464. All right, 3.2464. Okay? And we're going to go down here. 3.2464, and that should give us, break out our calculator here, 3,000 times 2.2464. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. And that gives us 9,739.20. And there is our ordinary annuity. Okay, well, let's take a look at if we do annuity due. Okay, well, annuity due is going to be a little bit different because now we're putting our money in at the beginning of the year. And at the beginning of the year, so we're going to earn extra interest. So when we do this, we are going to, right, we're going to find our period. So is going to equal 3. And we're doing it once every year, right? So we're going to 3, but we're going to add 1. Right? We're going to add an extra year to it, okay? And then our rate stays the same, which equals 8%. We're still doing it annually, so that equals 8%. All right. So now we're going to take our 3,000 and we're going to multiply it by, right? This is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to go up to our table, and since we're doing 4 periods, we're going to go over here, and this is going to be our number right here. 4.5061. 4.5061. All right, 4.5061. All right, and that is going to give us, right, we do the math. I won't bring out the calculator. Right? And it's going to be off just a little bit because it just is. If you do the actual math, you'll get the algebra, you'll get a little bit different answer. And this is going to give us $13,518.30. Now, that is not the final answer, right? So a lot of people are like, wow, that's a lot more. It's like, well, no. We have an extra payment in there that we did. We did 4 payments instead of 3 payments. So we have to subtract the 3,000, right? Because we did add an extra payment in there. And our final answer will be $10,518.30. This is our final answer right here. Okay, so it did earn us a little bit more, right? 9,739 compared with 10,518. Why is the annuity due so much more? Like I said, because we are earning interest immediately, right? In an ordinary annuity, you're earning it. The first year doesn't even earn you anything, or the first period doesn't earn you anything because you're doing it at the end. Okay? All right. One question you may have is the periods. This one we're doing an annuity due, and I'm talking about right here, right? Some people might ask, what if we're doing it quarterly? What if we do this quarterly? Then how do we figure this out? Do we add an extra 1? Do we add an extra 4? How are we doing that? You would do it exactly the same. So you would do 3, and then you're going to do it in 4 periods, right? So let's say you're doing it quarterly, and that's going to give you 12. And then what do I add? Do I add another 1? Do I add another 4? Do I add another whole quarter? You add just another 1, and then that will give you 13 periods, right? And then we would do that. And then this would change over here as well, right? Because our rate is going to be different, and we would divide this by 4 because it's quarterly. And then this would not be 8. If we're doing it quarterly, it would be 2%. And then we would just find it that way. So where would I go? Well, you'd go up to 2%, right? 2% here. And then we said 13, so it would be right here. You would use this number, 14.6803, to get your, or excuse me, I'm sorry, yeah, 13, to get your your answers for this. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Thanks. Bye.